yard line. Real good field position to start out their first offensive attack.
They're in the 5-2. I'll tell you that the ends and the tackles got to stop the defensive ends in this defense. Otherwise, they're going to mess up the play. And he penetrated in there and took an angle and banged him up in the backfield.
Coming out for Edgewood on offense, Brandon Osborne is the starting quarterback. Sure, we'll be hearing a lot from him tonight. Also, Matt Moore at fullback, Ryan White and Andy Urban will be running backs throughout the evening. First lineup, they got a slot back, T formation. Osborne with the carry, comes around left side. Nothing doing there. Real good gang tackling by the Kings defense.
Yeah, Kings got there in a good hurry.
Brandon Osborne, the ball carrier, tackled by 25.
It looks like Edgewood's going to try to beat him to the corners tonight.
And on the play of 2, it'll be second down, 8 Edgewood.
2nd and 8 now. 10:47 to go here in the first quarter. Early action once again. Sorry about the technical difficulties. As you said, first game jitters. This kickoff classic.
It's football season, though, again, Rick. I'll tell you, this time of year, you just mow the grass, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You know, you get that smell, and, you know.
Handoff that time to Ryan White, just off tackle. Looks to pick up about 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Third down, 5, Edgewood, ball at the Kings 30.
And this is our state's first game of the season tonight right here. So, you know, this is a kickoff to every other game from here on out. And what a game to do. You know, we got 2 high-powered teams here, both conference champions last year, both with a lot of returning seniors this year starting. So I'm looking for some good banging out there tonight.
Osborne up under center. Once again, a slot back comes to the left. Looks like he's going to keep it. Brings it around left end. Number 72.
That's how you stop the option. You got to stop the option. The end's got to hit him every time.
Matt Bengal in to make the stop there for no gain. Bringing down 4th and 2. He did pick up a couple yards on that one. Be an interesting call here. Not sure what the leg of Ryan Perry is like this year yet, since of course nobody's seen him kicking.
They're going to go for it.
I think so. In this situation, this close, this early in the season.
They've got just as much odds of getting the first down here as they do a field goal, I think, at this point.
Osborne center checking in with him. Jimmy Cassidy, the starting center tonight, number 55. Want to make sure he's got the call right.
Sending Bobby Atkinson out. Must be either equipment problem or a cut.
Official timeout right now. Did look like an equipment problem.
Bringing Lonham in, the all-around workhorse. They put him anywhere they need him. They'll come in now and play a little defensive line.
Single setback now for Edgewood. Osborne up under center. White in motion.
The option again.
The option looked like another fumble.
Fumble, but
the Knights are celebrating.
They got it.
Kings Knights get the ball right back. So a couple of miscues here early in the season for these 2 Division II teams.
That end's got to hit him every time. Though he can't leave that up to the linebacker to make that play. The end's got to hit that quarterback, or else he's going to have for a long night tonight. Because it looks like they're going to stay like that option is something that Edgewood likes to run.
So the Kings offense back on offense. 23-yard line will be their starting point. 9:02 to go here in the first quarter. Pretty good crowd out here for the kickoff classic.
Kind of wearing out this 20-yard stretch here so far.
Once again, I think you'll see a definite size advantage, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think you'll see Kings in the ground chuck all night tonight. Keep the ball pounded out.
High formation now, Moore under center. Handoff up the middle. Nice gain there. Number 22, Jimmy Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson's the guy to look for this year, to say. He was all-team FABC last year. Him and Sweargen were really good. Him and Hurley were a really good combination last year.
6-yard gain now, 2nd and 4. 8.5 to go. Setting the offense now. Nick Kosman comes split to the near side.
Single back.
Handoff up the middle once again, and once again it's Robertson. This time a couple of yards, and then he's brought down. First one in to make the stop there was number 40, Ryan Moore for Edgewood. Edgewood running a unique 5-2 defense, something that you don't see very often.
You don't. Well, you know, if you're really risky out there, you're awful soft. If they break that first plane, Although I was talking with Coach Andy Olds, and he said that this defensive backfield, they're number one in the state as far as how they're rated, the DBs for this Edgewood team. So he said these guys can really bring the noise and can play the game back there.
Well, there was a flag on the play. Check again once with Bill Clamo here, referee, see what the call was.
Illegal procedure on the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
There you have it, a legal procedure call.
Yeah, it looked like they were kind of running around not knowing where they were supposed to be, and that'll happen again first game of the season.
Repeating second down, 9 yards to go. Moore with an I formation, quick handoff again. Robertson looks to be the workhorse tonight, brings it around left end. Broke one tackle, but he's not going to break the other one.
He got collared there. It looked like a rodeo.
In on the stop now there, Bobby Gibson, defensive back, number 18 for Edgewood. Little lasso, you say, huh?
Third down, 6 Kings. Ball scored the Kings.
3-yard pickup there. 3rd and 6 it brings up for Kings Comets. Once again, everybody kind of feeling it out a little bit, getting those jitters out of the stomach, all that stuff. Everybody's being a little conservative as well at this stage of the game.
Well, Andy said he was going to be against with these DBs. He didn't want to put the ball in the air much. So, like he said, he's sticking true to his game plan. He's going to keep the ball on the ground, it looks like.
Jeff Williamson in formation coming in the near side. Handoff once again. Looks like Robertson up the middle. And looks like he's got a first down. Pick up about 5 yards there. Taking it up to the 35-yard line.
Tackle on the play by Blake Wright. Very near a first down. And it is first down Kings. Ball
They're going to mark it at the
Kings 34.
34-yard line. Not quite to the 35, but a 1st and 10 keeps the drive alive.
Well, Kings is doing pretty good here. You know, they got 2 first downs in their first 2 series here. You know, other than the fumble, it looks like the offense is moving, kind of doing what they want to do.
Brad Moore up under center. Their favorite formation looks like would be the I. Handoff once again. Guess who? Jimmy Robertson. Tripped up
good
at the
bit of
line.
running there to stay up, pick up an extra 2 yards. Good spin out.
First to hit him, replacement starter Scott Tromfler, a last-minute man in on offense and defense, number 64 for Edgewood. He was the first to trip him up. Couldn't get his balance back. 3-yard pickup, looks like 2nd and 7. Coming up on 6.5 to play here in the first quarter.
I didn't get the story on that from the coach down there, but this Tromfler must have really impressed somebody, I guess, in the last week or two in practice to jump, you know, to jump the depth chart on both offense and defense, or unless he came off of an injury, I don't know that.
Jeff Williamson to the near side. Jason Roberts goes to the far side. I formation once again for Moore. Moore hands off to Robertson, and he is stuffed in the backfield this time. Great defensive play there. Number 4, Andy Urban, coming in from the defensive back position on a blitz and was able to stuff him. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
They may need to do a little play action here just to keep the safeties and corners honest. Otherwise, they're going to start blitzing them like they're doing right there.
Well, with that 5-2, they play a big part in the defense, of course. And like you said, a little play action might make them stick to their home spot a little bit more. Spreading the field out again. Kings Knights up under center. Moore hands off to Robertson. Nothing new there. Brings it around left side. And another great stop.
Couldn't get outside the corner. Too many linemen standing around, and linemen got to get out there and wall that off if they want to make that work on the 5-2.
Another great stop by Andy Urban in from the defensive back spot. Brings up 4th down and 6. A kicking situation for the Knights. Punting tonight for the Knights, number 2, Mike Vanskoy.
They pull out there and set that wall up, and that play goes for 20, 30 yards.
Looks like Bobby Gibson will be returning.
Low kick.
Low line drive. Hits Gibson. It's on the ground. He picks it back up, brings it around to the near side.
Good open field tackle there. Good job. Good job.
Gets the kick back to the 19-yard line.
It'll be first down Edgewood. Ball will be scored at the Edgewood.
And Edgewood coming back out on offense, getting a second chance.
Please turn to page 12 of the Skyline Chili Crosstown Showdown souvenir program.
Well, early on, a lot of conservative play, as we said. Both these teams, Division II powers last year, making the playoffs. And both teams looking to have a quick start this year.
I think you're going to see a lot of similarity in coaching styles here too. Both conservative, close to the vest. Not going to try to show anything here right off the bat. I know Coach Andy Olds wanted to come out here in the first quarter and try to dominate, but he's just concerned about the team speed of this team. Oh!
Little trap play there, handoff to the inside, and there's nothing doing. Number 74, John Harvey, in on the stop for the Knights. Andy Urban had the carry.
And Harvey's a load, 295. That kid's got 6'4", 295. He can do some banging out there. Got good penetration. Stuffed that play 3 yards deep.
Brandon Osborne, a definite player who likes the option, as he threw for 939 yards and ran for 330 more last year, so you know he can run the ball. This time he hands it off, though, up the middle,
big
just
hole,
off tackle.
big gap.
Big hole that time, as you said. Nice trap blocking. Ryan White with the carry, picks up a first down. Looks like about 13 yards on the gain.
They created a nice little corridor there, good zone blocking all the way down, and just nice bit of offensive work right there.
1st and 10 now. Looks like they're sitting at about the 30-yard line. Still no team has really threatened to score. We've got 4 minutes to go here in the first period. ICRC Sports, Dwayne Reed, Rick McCullough, glad to be here. Cross-down showdown, the kickoff. Handoff this time. Ryan White again, this time around the left side. And he's got a big opening.
Ball, fumble.
He drops the ball right near the 50-yard line. And the Knights have recovered again. Another miscue.
Adam Cahill shook that one loose, so he tackled the ball. Good heady play right out there in open field. And he had 2 guys out in front of him. That was a good bit of blocking. The guys are getting downfield for this Edgewood team. I'm really impressed with the speed on this team. But good bit of play back there, and tackled the ball, shook it loose, and they get another chance at it here.
Miscues making the difference here in the first quarter as the Knights get their first field position in Edgewood territory, 49-yard line, where they're going to start 1st and 10 with 3:44 to go in the first quarter.
That's got to really be frustrating, Steve Channel, from up there at Edgewood. You know, you set up a good play like that, you pick up 20 yards, and then you lose the ball.
Our first look at the wishbone. Matt Bangle has reported in as fullback. Matt Bangle, 6'2", 255, was the up back in the wishbone, and he took that right up the middle for 6 yards.
This is like one of those CBS baseball games, you know, where we're going back. It's like a retro look. We got a 5'2" and a wishbone. I mean, you know, this is 60s football.
Well, they're only going to give him 4. They moved him back a notch or 2. 2nd and 6 now from the 44-yard line.
Look for a lead on this one.
Moore up under center, and the handoff again to Bangle up the middle. They're just looking to grind this out.
Yeah, they're going to try to wear him down.
Well, the size of that line, and then you bring Bangle up in there as well.
Right.
We weren't alerted to this little strategy early, were we?
No, we weren't. And you know, Bangle goes 6'2", 255, so, you know, he's going to be a load to bring down. He's as big as any one of the linemen on Edgewood's team.
3rd down and 3 now, 41-yard line. Kings Knights up under center. Brad Moore, once again the wishbone.
I'll tell you, though, they're bringing them DBs up close now. It'd be a good time to pop that tight end, a little play action.
Handoff this time to Mike Vanskoy. He goes around the left side. Can he break it?
Oh,
great open field tackle. Great tackle there by number 3, Evan Wertley. Edgewood kept him from getting around the corner.
Yeah. I think Vanskoy should just turned on that extra gear and just head for the post.
It's going to bring up 4th and 1.
He bellied that play a little bit too deep, I think. He should have just changed his angle a little bit.
4th and 1, coming up on 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Andy Olds electing to go for it once again, and maybe Matt Bangle up the middle.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Bangle up the middle, right off tackle, right off guard.
There we go. We got a penalty. Looks like movement on the offensive line.
Now they'll probably have to punt it. Going to make it 4th and 6.
Referee Bill Clamo's going to let us know what the call is.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 5 yards.
Illegal procedure will now change strategy. Instead of going for it, looks like they'll be kicking now. Back to kick once again, number 2, Mike Vanskoy, and number 18, the receiver, Bobby Gibson for Edgewood.
Mike Vanskoy to punt, back kick number 18, Bobby Gibson.
Kick is away, a little bit more loft
nice
on this
punt,
one.
Yeah.
He's going to fair catch and let it roll in the end zone, and there it does.
Mike Vanskoy punts into the end zone for a
Touchback. Bring it out to the 20-yard line where The Edgewood offense will try and get things going again. They really were moving the ball, Dwayne, but the miscues are killing them.
Yeah. Their zone blocking is working really well. They're just creating a nice little corridor. Guys are busting off. Nobody's there. They just keep on moving downfield. I really like that about this Edgewood team. I love seeing a good mobile line. I like seeing them get downfield. Move that bubble down.
Just inside the main gate.
Edgewood definitely playing more of a speed game, whereas the Knights are out with more of a power game.
Right.
It's an interesting
well, the Knights
contrast.
with this big offensive line, if Andy can get them guys fired up and get them moving off the ball, moving that bubble down 5-6 yards a time, I don't think Edgewood matches up with them enough to stop them.
Evan Wortley to the near side. And there's
Uh-oh,
another
he broke
breakthrough.
free.
Matt Moore up the middle. Matt Moore racing
Oh,
to the field.
big tackle. Big. That saves 6 right there.
Great saving tackle there. Number 25.
25, Adam Cahill.
Adam
again.
Cahill saving a touchdown.
Yep.
But a huge gain by Matt Moore.
Cahill just really closed on him there. You know, and that Moore kid's got some speed. He just closed, ran him down, made a big play. Cahill's having a heck of a night already. Yeah.
48-yard gain. 1st and 10 now. Moving well inside Kings territory. 32-yard line. 1st and 10. Minute and a half to go here in the first quarter.
It doesn't bode well for this Kings defense, though, when your safety's making 2 big plays like that.
Osborne up under center. Hands it off to White. Another nice gain by White, but there is a flag on the play. You can really see a lot of quickness from White, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Some nice, real clean cuts.
He's just nice and smooth. You know, makes all his turns from his hips.
Checking to see if they want to take the penalty. The gain was about 5 yards.
Yeah, they'll take it for sure. It's illegal motion.
Edgewood offense making some great strides. Once again, fumbles being the key early here in the first quarter.
Back in motion, 5 yards, first down.
Repeat first down. That'll make it 1st and 15 now. They go with Ryan White most of the time, trip him up with Matt Moore, and he gets the big 38-yard gain.
Timeout Edgewood.
Edgewood taking a timeout here with 1:12 to go. Talk a little bit about these teams from last year. I'll tell you, once again, they both making the playoffs. Edgewood making almost getting to the finals.
Right, one game away from making the finals, and again, you know, they're looking at coming back this year. Steve Chadle seems to think that this team can go all the way this year. Likes what he's got. It's got plenty of returning, 17 returning seniors from last year's squad. So, you know, he's got a lot of good things in place.
17 returning players in high school is always a nice little thing to have.
Certainly.
17 returning starters, we should say, to be specific.
Right.
ICRC Sports, once again, proud to be here tonight, Galbraith Field, as we kick off the whole season in the state of Ohio, the prep season. This is the first game anywhere.
My favorite time of year. It could be this time of year all year long. This is football season. This is great.
We're ready to roll, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Pro season right around the corner, college is happening, and now the preps. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like the support with the preps in this area.
Oh, unbelievable. Just, you know, state of Ohio, they should be very proud of our football programs. And as you can see throughout the country, you know, you know, the Ohio football players do well wherever they go.
For 2 for $15. Capital Varsity for all your
Coaches have talked it over with their players. Back to action, 1st and 15. 1:12 to go in the first quarter. Brandon Osborne, number 5, quarterback for Edgewood, up under center. He's got a single setback. This time it's Matt Moore. In motion is Ryan White. First pass of the night. Osborne rolling to his right. Looks downfield, lets it go. Got a man in the end zone.
Oh.
Broken up there nicely. Number 3 was the intended receiver, Evan Wortley.
Evan Wortley went up for that ball, too.
Adam Cahill is the man to break it up. Who wanted it worse, and looks like Cahill was able to knock it down.
That was a good defensive play on Cahill's behalf. Nice stroke. You know, everything was just a good play for everybody there.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 15.
I don't think they're going to be able to give Brandon Osborne that kind of time, though, or that kind of room. He could have ran that for a first down.
Out to the right side is Bobby Gibson. Handoff up the middle.
Big hole.
Ryan White once again. As you said, big hole. That's all they've seen all day. Lots of daylight. Adam Cahill on the stop.
10 yards, it'll be third down 5, Edgewood at the Kings 27.
Well, it looked like Ben Dillon was on a stunt or something. He was way outside. He's playing linebacker, and he got blowed right completely out of that hole.
Third down and 5 now. Ball sitting at the 26-yard line. Edgewood trying to keep this drive alive. Osborne up under center. White in the slot, goes in motion. Handoff up the middle to Matt Moore. Matt Moore only picks up a couple of yards, down to about the 23-yard line. Looks like it's going to bring up fourth down. Fourth and about a yard and a half, 2 yards is what they're marking. Another interesting call here now.
They're going to go for it.
Steve Chanel deciding he's going to go.
They bring in Evan Wortley.
Time runs out in the first quarter with the score.
And that's it. First quarter is over. 0-0 the score. Once again, miscues the key here.
This has been the closest they've been to the goal line all night from either team. So, here they are at about the 24-yard line.
Well, we do have a little competition going on the field. GTE wireless competition. They're going to have a little something between the first and second quarter, also at halftime between the third and fourth quarter as well. All part of the crosstown showdown. While we're doing this little competition, we'll take us a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. We're at Galbraith Field, part of the crosstown showdown, the third annual. For Dwayne Reed, I'm Rick McCullough on ICRC Sports, where our score is 0-0. Be right back. To Galbraith Field, Rick McCullough along with Dwayne Reed for the Crosstown Showdown, third annual, as the Kings Knights are taking on the Edgewood Cougars. Score is 0-0 as we start the second quarter. Matt Moore just picking up a first down on 4th and 2, picking up the action right there at 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Handoff up the middle, Matt Moore again. Moore with a couple yards on that gain. Edgewood deciding that grinding it out a little bit better ploy than that passing earlier.
Well, Matt Moore's been their workhorse tonight. He's already got 40. He's already got 51 yards here in the first quarter. So
16-yard line.
11-17, 2nd and 7 now from the 17-yard line. Brandon Osborne still at quarterback for Edgewood. Matt Moore is in the backfield with Ryan White, split backs. Go for the pass this time. Little fade to the end zone. Overthrown that time. Evan Wortley, the intended receiver. Osborne let that go just a little early, I think.
They'll bring up third down, 7, Edgewood.
yeah, he had trouble getting into that pattern. It looked like he stumbled a couple times there coming out of the blocks.
Wasn't able to get to the corner of the end zone as the play intended. 3rd and 7 now from the 17-yard line.
I'm pretty impressed with this Matt Moore kid. He's an underclassman, too. He's just a junior this year.
Matt Moore, 5'10", 165. Single setback now is Moore. To the near side is Bobby Gibson. Going in motion. We've got a reverse, handoff up the middle, Andy Urban.
Nice, nifty little play there.
Osborne handed off to White, who handed off quickly to Urban for the inside trap on the reverse.
Right.
Caught the Knights totally off guard.
Well, they're in that offset backfield. They got two backs that are actually lined up back where the tight ends would be, or behind the tight ends, and they'll go in motion every play. So it creates a lot of miscommunication on the defense. That time it looked like they were going to come back to Moore again. They handed off to White up the middle, and it's just a nice little, gets the linebackers shifting to one way, thinking they're going to sweep, and come right up the middle on them.
Hell South is a proud sponsor of the Skyline.
Keeping the Kings kind of, or the Knights kind of off balance with that.
Well, what you got to do against that offense is the defensive line just got to pin your ears back and act as it's a pass play. Just rush up in there and create some havoc in the backfield. Especially the defensive tackles. They just got to get upfield and try to create something there. And's got to turn it back in.
Knights taking a timeout here as they have their backs to the wall. 1st and goal on the 4-yard line. Talking about their goal line strategy.
The Cincinnati Post.
I think we'll see Osborne, possibly Edgewood, go to a clean option setup now, I would think.
They may stay in this offset.
The Post is your shorts for sports. Pick up a copy today.
It's hard to say, when you got a team with speed like that, that offset offense is a pretty decent offense because you usually have one of the backs in motion every play. So by the time he gets to the quarterback, he's running full speed.
10:43 here to go in the first quarter. ICRC Sports, Dwayne Reed alongside Rick McCullough. Galbraith Field the place. Kings Knights taking on the Edgewood Cougars. We've got a 0-0 score, but Edgewood threatening. First and goal, 4-yard line. Osborne up under center. Split backs are Moore and White. Handoff this time to Ryan White around the right side.
Great defense.
And in for the stop, number 2,
Mike Vanskoy.
Mike Vanskoy with a great stop there as White looked like he had an opening.
Vanskoy just saw the angle, took the angle on him, and just closed. That's what you're supposed to do. No waiting around, no lollygagging, just close, get on him.
He did pick up a couple yards, though. First and goal now from the 2-yard line, and we've got a timeout on the field. It's an official timeout. We've got an injury. That looks like one of the Knights down on the field. Always hope it's nothing serious. 10:19 to go here in the second quarter. Trainers out checking things out. This nice little chance for Edgewood now to get things talked over. Brandon Osborne over to talk to Coach Steve Chanel. Knights players on his feet, walking off the field. Always a good sign. Sun setting on the season opener for the Ohio prep season here at Galbraith Field. Kind of a nice thing to be a part of this event.
Yes, it is, and it's great for have great sponsorship like they have here in Cincinnati with Skyline and everybody else who contributes to this.
Moore and White once again in the backfield. Evan Wortley to the far side. Handoff once again. Ryan White, and White's in for the score. Too much speed, it looked like there. Is able to get around the tackle, no problem.
The defensive line looks very confused here. If I'm Coach Andy Olds, I just tell my interior lineman, pin your ears back, take an angle, try to get inside there, create some havoc in the backfield.
Ryan Perry now.
Mop up.
Ryan Perry on to attempt the kick. Holding is Brandon Osborne. Snap is clean. Kick is good. So at 9:54 of the second quarter, our first score of the game is Ryan White with a 2-yard touchdown run. Puts the Edgewood Cougars up 7-0 over the Kings Knights in the kickoff game of the 3rd annual Crosstown Showdown. A lot more games, of course, coming up Saturday at UC. Always a big event.
Oh yes, that'll be huge down there. Some great GCL teams and. Just always, I go down there every year for that. Just a great event.
Dental Care Plus is the largest dental maintenance organization in Ohio with more than 800 dentists, no claim forms to file, no balance billing.
Get a chance now to see if the Kings can answer. The Knights, rather.
Yeah, Knights have got to get on track here. They've gotten a couple first downs. They just need to have a good sustained drive and try to do something here and get back in this. Come back with a score and tie this game up against this Edgewood team. They can't let them get up on them too much. Especially if Andy doesn't feel confident he gets thrown against him. You don't want to have to start putting the ball in the air. But it's still early. They got plenty of time. They've got another 9 minutes here to try to sustain the drive, get down here, and go into halftime at tied with this team.
Looks like Anthony Dawes will be kicking off for Edgewood. Receiving for the Knights, number 22, Jimmy Robertson. Also number 1, Nick Kossman. We're set for play at 9:54 in the second quarter. Kick is a squib. One of the upbacks hits him and he falls on it. Kind of ill-advised there to try and pick that up. Jason Roberts, number 33, was able to recover though.
That was a good job. Just get down on it. I always like the squib kick. If you don't have a deep kicker, I like a squib kick. Here, both kickoffs, they've kept them inside the 30. It's working for them.
Now it takes the return out of play. 29-yard line, the starting point now for the Knights. Brad Moore back at quarterback.
it puts the return in one of the up backs' hands, and those guys usually aren't used to handling the ball.
Running backs Vanskoy and Robertson in the I formation. Brian Lynch in motion going to the far side. Running the option, first back in, Vanskoy. Nice gain there. Looks like he caught a first down. 11-yard gain right up the middle.
Mike Vanskoy, the ball carrier, tackled by 50
That was a good hard bit of running there. He broke through that line and then
on the play of 11 yards.
he's got drugged down.
Vanskoy is 6'1", 220. Has to be a load for these guys if he gets any momentum going. First and 10 now, 40-yard line. Kings Knights just need a solid drive. See if they can answer. 9.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 7-0 Edgewood on top. Both teams looking to repeat playoff appearances from last year. Handoff this time, Jimmy Robertson. Just off the right tackle. Nothing doing.
I think against a 5-2, I'd stick with the first man instead of second man. I think that's caused him to jam up a little bit. The first man run the Vanskoy, he gets 11 yards. Obviously, you can't keep going to that well, or else they'll shut that down.
Scott Troffler, Jesse Scott in on the stop there. Pickup of about 2 yards. Second down and 8 now. 42-yard line. Brad Moore up under center once again. Same two backs, Robertson, Vanskoy. Coming in motion is Brian Lynch. Tried to draw the defense offsides, nothing doing.
Oh,
Jimmy
nice
Roberts.
seam, nice seam. Gonna be real close to first down.
Roberts with a nice carry up the middle there, right to midfield.
Oh, they spot him with the right foot, so he's just gonna be, it looks like he might, they're gonna have to measure it, but he's gonna be, it looks like maybe the edge of the football short.
Just shy of the first down.
They're going to call it third down and less than a yard.
They're not even gonna measure it.
49.
They're leaving it third down, less than a yard. 8:18 to go here, second quarter. Edgewood on top, 7-0. Brad Moore under center once again. Snap, handoff, Vanskoy up the middle.
Oh, he's
Vanskoy breaks a couple tackles.
Boom, boom. Oh, he
And he
fumbles.
fumbles, but they're going to call him down. Looks like they're going to call him down.
Mike Vanskoy, the ball carrier.
Vanskoy with the carry once again. Evan Wortley with the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like the ground caused that one there from what we could see.
Contact.
18-yard gain.
First down, King.
First and 10 now, 32-yard line.
Yeah, that's what they're calling. See where they marked it? They marked it where his knee was, not where the
Sure.
ball was. So he was.
Down by contact. You hear it every season. This ground can't cause a fumble, right? Every game it seems like somebody's got to bring that up. Nice little gain there. The Knights able to keep the drive alive. Hand off to Robertson coming around the left side.
Boom!
What a stop.
Boom!
What a stop that time. Number 5, Brandon Osborne. Stood him up, moved him backwards.
That
Forward
looked like
progress.
Brandon Osborne had a playbook that time. He was back there before they was. Jeez, oh, Pete.
I'll tell you.
That is some speed. That's what Andy was scared of. These guys have got some speed in these DBs.
What a definite advantage the defensive backs for Edgewood, the speed they have. Brandon Osborne in on that for 2-yard stop.
They've been working
He's lucky it wasn't
They've
worse.
been working it between the tackles and having a lot of success. They go outside and bam.
Second and 12 now. Going with the single setback this time. Mike Vanskoy all by himself.
Trips out to the right.
Robertson goes into the slot. Moore looking to pass now. Rolls right side. Got a man
Oh,
open.
found a nice seam.
Nice reception there. Brian Lynch.
Well, they're in a cover 2 zone, so there's going to be some little holes like that. They'll give you 7-8 yards in that cover 2 zone. So just taking what they're giving them. I like that. I like that. Mix it up a little bit.
Nice 10-yard pass play there. Third down and 2 it brings up. Knights checking their play.
That's a nice little play there to help keep Edgewood honest.
They got to be careful they don't get a delay here. Taking a while to get the play in. They're calling timeout.
Good job there.
They don't want to blow this drive, do they?
They can't afford to. They need to come away here with something.
Timeout, King.
The Kings Knights taking a timeout at 6:17 to go in the second quarter. They're sitting at 3rd and 2, right around the 23-yard line of Edgewood, down 7-0 in the kickoff game for the Ohio season. Both these non-conference games for both of these teams, of course, but last year, as we mentioned, both Division II teams making the playoffs. Edgewood missing the state finals by a mere touchdown in the last seconds of their semifinal game. So they definitely tasted that championship appearance, and I think they're hungry for it this year.
Well, whenever you got two conference champions going at it, you know, there's a lot of pride on the line there.
The Knights making the playoffs for the first time last year, and so now they know what that's like. Of course, the Knights lost their first game last year and were able to bounce back after that loss and get into the playoffs themselves. Didn't lose another game.
Right, they played pretty clean there from the end of that.
Definitely a good crowd on hand. The fans are into it, enjoying things. Ready for action again with 6:17 to go in the second quarter. Moore up under center. Robertson, Vanskoy in the backfield. Hands off to Vanskoy. Fumble. Vanskoy drops it, but Robertson falls on it. Quick reaction by Robertson there. Once again,
that hurts them.
It really does hurt them. They were in a real nice spot there with 3rd and 2. It's going to bring up 4th and 6 now with a 4-yard loss on the fumble.
I think if I'm Coach Andy, I go for it here. You got to try to come away here with something. A little less than 6 minutes left, and Edgewood can certainly run that much time down.
5:40 here in the second quarter. Knights getting the play in. More recalling it. 4th and 6. They're going for it, of course. Coming to the near side, Jason Roberts. Brian Lynch split out right. Robertson, Vanskoy in the backfield. Lynch is in motion to the near. Looking to pass. Brad Moore rolling to his left. Looking downfield.
Oh,
got
yes.
a man. Brian Lynch with the reception, but is he far enough for the first down?
Yeah, they marked him at the 20, so that's a yard inside the first down. There you go. Good job.
Nice play there by the Knights. Good call. And the O's. 1st and 10 now on the 20-yard line. Coming in for the Kings Knights, Anthony Dawes, as they move Matt Bengal into the backfield again. That's their replacement is Dawes for Bengal when they want him up in that wishbone.
Yep.
They don't give it to him this time, though. Robertson around the right side. Nice job once again, Brandon Osborne, the first to trip him up.
Against the 5-2, I like dives. I don't like powers. I don't like having a lead back. I think it congests things too much and it lets them linebackers react and get over. I think the first man through has been a lot more successful for him this evening.
Brings up 2nd and 10. They really didn't gain much, maybe a foot from where they marked it. Went from one side of the 20 to the other side.
They've either done well with the dives or with the counters.
They're sticking with Bengal in the backfield here in the wishbone, and another timeout being called. Kings Knights timeout. That should be their last. 4:47 to go. ICRC Sports.
Yeah, Marvin didn't see something he liked out there. I don't know what it was, but he looked over the defense and immediately called a timeout. So,
well, they're in a position again. They want to keep this drive going. They have the best chance to score yet tonight.
And they got to get something. They need 3 points. They got to get something down here this time.
Rick McCullough alongside Dwayne Reed for tonight's game. Galbraith Field, the location. Edgewood Cougars taking on the Kings Knights. 2 Division II powerhouses. What a great way to kick off this season. All part of the Crosstown Showdown, the 3rd annual. You know it's football season too when you get close to halftime, and here come the band, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's all part of the game. Needs to be a little cooler, though.
This is okay, but yeah, a little cooler would be nice.
2nd and 10 once again. 4:47. Edgewood with a 7-0 advantage here in the second quarter. Nice Ryan White 2-yard touchdown is how they scored.
Rick, you know, it's always cool when you get to watch 2 good teams play football. So.
Oh, yeah. Moore up under center. This time they go back to the I formation with Robertson and Vanskoy. Lynch in motion, one of their favorite formations to run. Hand off to Robertson, trying to get around the left
he's
side.
In the backfield.
Once again, another swarming defensive play. They're going to call him down.
Oh, no, he stole that ball from me.
They did rip it out.
He took it right out of there. Jeez, old Pete, that Brandon Osborne is some kind of DB. He banged him and just took it off like it was a handoff.
At first, I thought they called him down, forward progress, but no, you're right. Osborne ripping it free, and Edgewood has the ball back. 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. stopping a real strong drive by the Kings Knights.
And Kings held the ball there. They held the ball for almost 5 minutes. So, you know, they're doing good with possession. So the defense got to step up here now and make another turnover.
Brandon Osborne setting the offense.
Offset.
Quick handoff this time. Once again, Matt Moore up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's got in the open 50-yard line, 40-yard line. Cutting off the angle that time. Number 84, Matt Begley, with a touchdown-saving tackle.
I'll tell you, Matt Moore, he's low to the ground, 5'10", 165. Tough guy to bring down. Broke 2 tackles there, bust out there. Picks up what, 30, 35 yards on the play.
Actually looked like about 33-yard gain.
33 yards. It'll be first down.
First and 10 now. Just inside the 35-yard line. Once again, kind of a mix them up, shake them up run there as they run some trap blocking, and the Knights can't recover.
Well, this offset offense, I'll tell you, they got guys in motion every play, and it's taking the linebackers out of this game.
Handoff again, this time Ryan White around the near side. Gets a couple yards before he's driven out of bounds. Nice defensive play that time by Adam Cahill.
Down by number 25, Adam Cahill.
They're going to give him, actually, got a little more up on the near side than I thought. They're going to give him a 5-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 5 from the 29. Coming up on 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Big run by Matt Moore, giving the Edgewood Cougars another good shot at possibly a score here. Osborne's up under center. Andy Knobloch in the backfield.
Uh-oh, a reverse.
Another reverse. This time Ryan White handed off to Matt Moore coming up the middle. Looks like he has enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark it. He's right at the pole.
Very near a first down, and it is a first down. Edgewood.
They're going to call it a first. First and 10 now, 24-yard line. That a little inside reverse working well for Edgewood tonight.
Yes, it is. Well, this offensive line gets off the ball good. They do create some things down there. They're not big, but they're just, you don't have to be big. You just got to get in that position, stay in the guy's way for about 2 or 3 seconds, and it's done. These guys get downfield good. I like it. Backside gets downfield, tries to pick off them corners and safeties.
Matt Moore with the handoff up the middle this time from Brandon Osborne, and they just kind of plow ahead.
Moore in center, tackled by 74.
Looks like a pickup
See
of
what I
about
like
5.
here? All the linemen are downfield. They're all downfield. When you got linemen standing around look like mall cops, it's bad. It's going to be a bad night. But when your linemen get downfield, I mean that bubble's moving down there.
4-yard gain there. Actually, they're going to call it a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7. Just under 3 minutes to play. Steve Chanel would definitely like to get another score in. Another quick strike to pad that lead going into halftime. Osborne with Matt Moore as a single back in the backfield. Ryan White in the slot to the left. Looks like a pass play. Osborne's got a man open.
Oh, yeah. Underneath.
Matt Moore with a catch. Looks like another first down as they get inside the 10-yard line. Going to be first and goal to go from the 7.5-yard line.
First down ball, Edgewood with the ball at the Kings 7.
This offense is looking real sharp-tuned after they got past a couple of those fumbles.
Oh, yeah, now they're hanging on to the ball. They're moving it around. They got the defense back on their heels. Linebackers are not, they're getting out of position. That should have been a linebacker key on the fullback.
2:15 to go now. Osborne up under center. Quick hand up the middle to Matt Moore.
He's gang tackled there. There's nothing but white on him there.
Nice job that time. First in to hit him was Glenn Wank, number 56. And then a whole host of Knights stopping him after a couple-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Edgewood Cougars already up 7-0 here late in the second quarter.
And driving, got a minute 50 left.
Checking into the game with the play is Bobby Gibson. Going with the single setback again, Matt Moore. Ryan White and Andy Urban in there as well.
Oh, he's
Quick
gone.
handoff to
He's
White.
in.
He's taking it around the right side, and he scores.
Boom, you can see that. They just set him up, sucked him in with the play action, and bam, outside.
Touchdown number 2 on the evening for Ryan White, 5-yard run. nicely executed, and speed the key there.
Yep. Linebackers got sucked in, so did the corners. They thought they were going to hand off right there off tackle, and boom.
In to attempt the extra point, Ryan Perry. Brandon Osborne, once again, the holder. Kick is up.
Oh, shanked it.
He did shank that one. Extra point is no good. So with 1:29 to go in the second quarter, the Edgewood Cougars lead the Kings Knights by a score of 13-0.
With a very impressive drive, I might say. That was just a good mix-up. Passed when they had to pass, ran. Just this offset offense is just... Them offset backs, when you got that kind of speed like Edgewood has there, you got a man in motion every play. You got to realize when that guy's in motion, by the time he hits the quarterback, he's going full speed.
Well, the thing we talked about was all the returning starters for the Edgewood Cougars, and they only really lost one key player from last year's lineup, and that was running back David White, who was a career rushing leader for the team with 3,725 yards. But this combination of Matt Moore and Ryan White is definitely picking up the slack.
Yeah, both of these kids are probably 70 yards. They were both near 50 the first half. They might be real close to 100 yards.
Well, they did combine to rush for over 100 yards in the first quarter. So like you said, they're each probably close to 100 each by now. 1:29 to go in the second quarter. Setting up to kick once again, number 74, Anthony Dawes.
Look for that squib again, one of the up men. If I'm Andy, I trick him. I bring two other running backs up here, and
got to try and do something. Oh, he let it go this time.
Yeah.
Back to receive that time, Jason Roberts.
There you go. Oh, don't dance.
Jason Roberts brings it up the middle. About a 15-yard return, but as you said, instead of hitting the hole, he just kind of danced around. And
what you got to do on these kick returns is run the ball right to the middle of the field. That's where the slowest guys are. Kicker, run right where the kicker was. Bam. And don't even. When you start dancing, the play's over.
That is true. Your speed guys do come up the outside, don't they? All your bigger guys are down the middle.
Find that little gap there. Bingo.
Coached this game before, haven't you? Maybe played a few too.
Yeah.
1:21 to go in the second quarter. Kings Knights trying to get something going here late. Brad Moore up under center. Jimmy Robertson the single setback. Mike Vanskoy in the slot, and going in motion Brian Lynch. 32-yard line to starting point. Handoff up the middle to Robertson.
That play went nowhere. Stuffed.
Almost handed it off to Edgewood, which would have been a disaster. Going to get a loss of about 3 yards there, back to the 30-yard line. Bring up 2nd and 13. Coming up on a minute to play here in the first half. ICRC Sports, Rick McCullough, Dwayne Reed, glad to be here. Part of the Crosstown Showdown. The first game in Ohio Prep football this year between Edgewood and Kings. Moore up under center once again. Takes the snap, hands off to Robertson. Robertson breaks one tackle, but nothing doing on the rest. Good swarming defense there.
That Brandon Osborne is a load. Boy, he unloads every time. Just good tackling, got his head up, and bangs him.
Brandon Osborne, Jimmy Cassidy in on the stop that time for Edgewood. We were kind of wondering how that...
And Osborne just brought the noise. 180 pounds, and he uses every bit of it.
We're kind of wondering how that 5-2 defense would work, but with the speed of those defensive backs, it has not been a problem.
That's the whole key. They got the speed there.
Handoff once again to Jimmy Robertson, trying the right side. This time picks up about 5 yards.
That tackle's got to hook that end. He's got to hook him. Can't let him make that play there. If he gives him that play, Robertson's going to get another 15, 20 yards, maybe bust one loose.
Well, that's it for the first half. As we go into halftime here, as a part of the Crosstown Showdown, the 3rd annual, we're at Galbraith Field. ICRC Sports, Edgewood Cougars leading the Kings Knights by a score of 13-0.
It's football season.
It's football season, my friend. Dwayne Reed, I'm Rick McCullough. We'll be back after halftime right here on ICRC Sports. Welcome back to Galbraith Field. It is the third annual Crosstown Showdown. ICRC Sports proud to present this kickoff game this evening as the Edgewood Cougars are leading the Kings Knights 13-0. Rick McCullough alongside Dwayne Reed. And Dwayne, interesting game tonight, of course. Started out a little weak for both teams as far as fumbles, getting the jitters out, but since then Edgewood really impressed us.
Yes, Edgewood's running that offset offense with the offset backs there, and the only way that Andy Olds and these Kings Knights are going to be able to stop that is they're going to have to step up. The defensive line are going to have to pin their ears back and get some penetration. They're sitting back on their heels and with the misdirection that's in that backfield, the linebackers can't make the reads. There's just too much congestion there, and I think that's where the problem is. They got to get those interior linemen, both defensive linemen. Don't try to read the play. Get in there. Just get back in there and try to wreak havoc in the backfield. All the plays going to set up right behind center. So if those two guys get some penetration, they can stop that. They can stop that offense. But that's the key. If those two linemen don't get penetration, they stay at home. They will not be able to win this game. They will not be able to come back because this Edgewood team has got way too much speed. They got to get back in there and try to shake something loose.
Well, that's what we said early on. Was the matchup tonight was going to be a speed versus a power game, and so far speed is winning out.
Yes, it is. And, not taking anything away from Kings, they've had some really good sustained drives, the good powers. They were driving the ball well, mishandling balls, just not getting the flow. I think the player of the game so far that I've seen isn't the running backs, but is that offensive line. That offensive line has given up probably 50 pounds a man, but they're getting downfield. Look at the backside when it's, when the play's live right, the backside guard and tackle are getting downfield. They're mopping up linebackers. They're mopping up corners and safeties, and that's why these plays are breaking off for 20 and 25 yards.
Well, we're getting set for the second half of play here in the kickoff game for the 2000 Ohio season. Prep action, third annual Crosstown Showdown. Edgewood once again ahead 13-0 over the Kings Knights. Galbraith Field, the site. This is a wonderful field. This thing looks like they've done a really nice job over the summer, kept it in great shape. The smell of football is in the air.
And this is nice as most college fields, although this was the College Hall of Fame field, for how many years. And now they're using it, and I like seeing more use for the high school games.
Kicking off this time will be the Kings Knights, so Edgewood with a chance to get things going on offense again as we start the second half. And the Edgewood offense, definitely, you've got the stats there, running up a heck of a ground game.
188 yards, 202 yards total offense, just totally impressive. And they've got two guys that are going to be, well, we've got Matt Moore already over 100 and Ryan White with just a few more carries. He's at 63 yards right now. It looks like he's going to be a 100-yard rusher as well.
And the kick is away. It's a high kick. Taking it is Ryan White. Takes it at about the 12-yard line. Up the left side, down to about the 26-yard line.
He had a little wedge here and kind of ran into the back of the wedge. I think he could have broke that off and maybe picked up another 5 or 8 yards.
First and 10 now for Edgewood. Once again, Brandon Osborne, number 5, the starting quarterback. Brandon Osborne had 3 rushes for 8 yards. Only 1 pass attempt that was incomplete. So they're definitely, the rushing game is their game for this evening. Running backs, Matt Moore, number 42. The power horse. Ryan White, number 25. Ryan White has the 2 scores. Got 1 touchdown on a 2-yard run at 9:54 of the second quarter and a 5-yard run at 1:29 in the second quarter. So here we go.
I must have been sleeping. Brandon Osborne, he's the big play man on defense, and here he's the quarterback. I'm not even. Nice little play action there. He hit the ball well. Good defense.
Osborne back to pass there. The intended receiver was Jason Glancy. Nothing doing, though, as Mike Vanskoy in to break things up.
It didn't look like Osborne had his feet set on that play. He was just kind of rolling back. He had a lineman rolling back with him. He had plenty of protection. It just didn't look like he got his feet set, threw off that back foot, and it just kind of died on him.
Clock stopped at 11:49. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation. 27-yard line, the starting point for the Edgewood Cougars early in the third quarter. Quick motion from Ryan White, and the handoff is to White around the right side. Another big hole. Race it for about a 6-yard gain before he's brought on. Make it a 7-yard gain out to the 35-yard line.
When you got this kind of speed, I love this offense. Like I was telling you earlier, Rick, that running back is at full speed when he hits that quarterback. He's running right by there, and it's just really tough for those defensive ends to try to turn him in.
Adam Cahill with the stop. We've called his name a few times tonight on defense for the Kings Knights. He was the one that broke up the one pass earlier from Brandon Osborne. 3rd down and 2 now. Going to give him 8 yards on that. A long 2. Right at the 35-yard line. Osborne up under center. Another quick handoff.
Same play.
Ryan White to the right side. Looks like he's got the first down.
Yep.
Picked up about 4 yards.
Looked like he kind of tripped over his yeah, he did. He tripped right over the guard leading him. He kicked him right in the leg.
They're going to move him back to a 3-yard gain, but should still be enough for the first, and it is. Referee Bill Clamo calling it.
Game on the play of 3, first down, Cougars at the Cougar 38-yard line.
11 minutes to play here, 3rd quarter. Early action, 2nd half. Edgewood Cougars leading the Kings Knights 13-0, and Edgewood moving the ball very well once again. Matt Moore is the single setback. Ryan White with the quick motion again, and the inside reverse once again. Andy Urban with the reception on the inside reverse gets it down to the 40-yard line. Looked like about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a good job by the defense. They stayed at home, and they kind of came right to him.
Gain on the play of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down, 8 Edgewood.
Bobby Atkinson looked like the first one in on the stop there. Little help from Mike Vanskoy. 2nd down and 8 now. Brandon Osborne checking the play from Evan Wertley. Relatively penalty-free for an early game in the season.
Yeah, it is. Not a lot of penalties. A little, a couple illegal procedures. Guys lined up wrong.
Inside handoff again.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Defensive linemen getting in there, penetrating. He makes a play 2 yards deep. That's what they need to do.
John Harvey with the inside stop. You see it here.
There you go. Let those guys penetrate. They don't have to read. Let them linemen play like it's a pass play every time. Pin your ears back, get up in there, and create some havoc in the backfield.
Possibly Coach Andy's made some adjustments at halftime that could help him out, it looks like. Brandon Osborne up under center. 3rd and 9 now. Pass play. He's got a man open down the sideline, but he throws it out of bounds.
Oh, yeah, threw it to his wrong shoulder.
Evan Wertley was wide open, streaking down the sideline. As you said, threw it to the outside shoulder rather than the inside shoulder, and they couldn't make the play.
If he throws that ball 2 yards to the inside, that's a touchdown.
Kicking situation now for Edgewood, which they haven't really had to do yet tonight. No punts. First one of the evening. Brandon Osborne.
It's a smaller team, though. I think I go for a block instead of trying to go for a return.
Osborne with the kick. And it's a good one.
Yes, it is.
Strong kick.
Fair catch.
Jimmy Robertson with the fair catch at the 21-yard line.
Kings will take over first down 10.
Kings Knights 1st and 10, their first possession of the second half coming up. And what do you look for them on offense?
Well, I do what they've been doing, but if I'm Andy Olds, I come out to the first man. I think running with the power or the lead back, it's letting the linebacker shed over and come over and make the play. I think the first man through is just a lot better. Either whether it's the fullback or the halfback, both of them have been successful running up the middle. I don't think they need that extra back in there. The line is much bigger, so they should be able to make that penetration. Now take the 4 or 5 yards they give you every play.
9:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 now. Kings Knights from their own 21-yard line. Brad Moore is still at quarterback. Robertson and Vanskoy in the backfield. Quick handoff to Vanskoy. First back in, and he's stuffed. Swarming defense once again for Edgewood.
He turned that back to the pressure instead of kicking it out to us. He would have wound up, I think, picking up about 3 or 4 more yards coming this way.
Jimmy Cassidy and Anthony Dawes in on the stop there for Edgewood. They're going to give him about a yard. 2nd and 9 now. Kings Knights, I think, need to get something going early here in the 3rd quarter.
All right, dude. Some that are on and some that are off. And some people want them off. So.
Once again, Vanskoy and Robertson are in the backfield. Vanskoy up in the fullback position. Moore takes the snap, and this time he pitches it out to Robertson on
Oh,
the
nice
option.
bit of blocking there.
Robertson with a nice cut back to the middle. Up close to the first down. Looks like he's going to be short by about a half a yard.
Pitch, tackled by number 40, Ryan Moore.
The receiver made that play there, though. He really locked up that cornerback and stayed in front of him there.
The ball scored.
Going to make it 3rd and 1 now on the 8-yard gain. This time the defense bid on the first man in, and the Knights wisely went to the outside. 3rd and 1, short yardage situation. Moore up under center, takes a snap. Options it again to Robertson around the outside. Robertson does get around the corner.
Oh, bang!
Gets the first down before he is walloped by Evan Wertley.
Tackled by number 3, Wortley.
Evan Wertley turned him around, but the forward progress will give them the first down.
Hey, these DBs of Wortley and Osborne, for 180, 190-pound kids, they hit hard.
First and 10 now. 7:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ball situated at the 33-yard line. Kings Knights trying to make a move. They're down 13-0. You're listening to high school football sports on ICRC. Pass play now. Moore brings it around the right side. Looks like he's going to keep it, though. Quarterback option.
Oh, keep it outside. Don't run it back in there.
Nice job by Moore, though, to get around the corner. Doesn't see anything working downfield. Looked like it might have been designed run all the way, though. I didn't see any receivers downfield.
No, I didn't. It looked like they were setting up the block, but I think if he keeps the ball outside, he's going to pick up another 3 yards. He cuts right back into the coverage.
6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 now. Moore up under center. Jimmy Robertson and Vanskoy in the backfield. In motion is Brian Lynch coming to the near side. Moore hands it off, first man in. Vanskoy stopped after about a 2-yard gain, maybe a yard.
Going
to give him about a yard. Looks like bring up 3rd down and 2.
It'll be 3rd down 3, Kings, from the Knights 40.
40-yard line to starting point here. 3rd and 3. Brad Moore up under center once again. I formation, their favorite. Quick pass to the outside
nice
to
pass.
Lynch. Nice
First
play
down.
there. Lynch with the reception.
Brad Maller's pass is complete to number 11, Adam Elkins. Tackled by number 55, Jimmy Cassidy. 65, Jesse Scott.
Cassidy makes the tackle. Brings up the first down. 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Kings Knights making a nice move.
The Knights 46.
First and 10 now. 5:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Coming to the near side, Jason Roberts. Lynch on the far side. Once again, going back to the pass. Nice penetration by Osborne.
Geez, Osborne makes a big play there, turns that back inside.
Mallers sacked in the backfield by number 40, Ryan Moore.
Osborne does well at quarterback, but he's definitely much stronger on defense.
Yards. It'll be 2nd down 12. Kings at the Kings 44.
He did a nice job of missing Osborne there, but got hung up on the way in.
Well, Osborne turned that play back in and let the other guys make the play there.
5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2 there for Moore. Both receivers split to the far side now. Moore with the quick pitch to
nice
Robertson.
pass.
Robertson with a nice
Nice
cutter
one.
on the outside. Breaks a couple tackles.
Jimmy Robertson and
Gets up close to the first down.
Wortley.
We'll see where they spot it. Is he
Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. Yard, maybe yard and a half, 2 yards.
Gave him a play of 10 yards.
they are going to spot it about a yard short.
A long yard ball will be scored at the Edgewood 45.
45-yard line now. Kings Knights in Edgewood territory.
Well, this is what Kings needs. They need a good sustained drive here. They need to come away with some points, like we were talking in the first half, that they should have came away with some points down there. They coughed the ball up. Now they got to do something here.
3rd and 1. Both receivers, Roberts and Lynch, come to the near side this time. Hand off to Robertson up the middle, and he is stuffed in the backfield. Matt Moore with the stop for a loss. Looks like they took a yard off their position. Matt Moore, nice penetration there.
Yes, it was. He just shot right through there, and that's what they're doing on defense. What King should be doing. Let those guys just penetrate. They don't have a lane. They're just playing ball and getting deep.
4th and 2. Let's see. Andy Olds looks like he's going to go for it in this situation.
Well, I think he almost has to. They've got to come. Like I said, they've got to come away here with something. They don't have enough speed, and I don't think they want to pass against these guys to try to put 2 scores up in the 4th quarter.
Split receivers now, 1 to each side. Lynch goes in motion. Moore takes the snap, options it to the outside, decides to keep it, and he fumbles the ball.
Doesn't matter anyway.
They're struggling for it. Doesn't matter. You're right. It's going to be Edgewood ball either way.
He should have got rid of that ball. He had to get rid of that ball.
Kings will turn over on downs, and Edgewood will take over. First down.
Edgewood takes over now.
With the ball scored at the Edgewood
49-yard line. Edgewood territory. 1st and 10. And Brandon Osborne switching back over to the QB position. So the Edgewood defense stiffens up when they needed to.
Yes, they did, and well, that's going to happen when you get a sophomore quarterback. You got a lot of youth back there, and he'll learn to feel that. He'll learn to feel that pressure as he goes on.
Osborne now under center. Matt Moore in the backfield. Quick handoff to Andy Urban. Urban brings it around the left side. Nice running. See him protecting that ball.
Yes, he did. That little shake just kind of froze him. That froze Adam Cahill up a minute. Adam Cahill, good job of breaking down, not letting him get outside there. But there wasn't no cavalry behind it.
They're going to give him a 9-yard gain on that.
Wow.
2nd and 1 from the Knights'
Cahill
42-yard
had
line.
that play read early on, but he didn't have no linebackers coming over to help him out there. He had to do it on his own.
They don't waste any time developing their plays, do they?
No, they don't.
The handoffs are quick, and they punch the line as fast as they can. Very impressive. 2:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 13-0 Edgewood looking to pad that lead. Osborne takes the snap. This time he hands it to Moore up the middle, and nothing doing this time. The defense is there for Kings Knights.
I just like this footwork of this quarterback, the way he comes back there. They don't know where the ball's coming. They don't know if it's coming here or there. He just does a very good job of footwork. And as with football, that's the biggest key at any position, quarterback, receiver, anywhere, is the footwork.
Osborne gets the play from head coach Steve Chanel. 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I have to apologize. I'm calling him Steve Channel the whole first half. So.
Osborne with the handoff to Ryan White.
Oh, nothing doing there. Stuffed him again, but I think he got enough for a first down.
White tries the left side. They stopped him. Looks like he's short. Depends on where they do place it.
Ryan White, the ball carrier, tackled by 72.
Matt Bengal kind of shaken up on that play. He's still shaking the cobwebs out of his head.
Yeah.
They may call a official's timeout here. He's hurting.
GTU Wireless is proud to be the presenting sponsor.
Yeah, that's what they did. Little injury timeout right now. 1:50 to go. 13-0. Edgewood Cougars over the Kings Knights. You're watching high school prep football, ICRC Sports. Dwayne Reed and Rick McCullough here doing the action with you. Great setting here at Galbraith Field. This is the kickoff game of the 3rd annual Skyline Chili Crosstown Showdown. And
That's
we are
Matt
glad
Bengal,
to be here.
too. That's their big fullback in
Yes, it is.
In the wishbone.
Well, every once in a while, they do use them in that spot.
Yeah, look
The
at you.
fullback
Might
in
got
the
the wind
wishbone.
knocked out of him there a little bit. Maybe that or a little stinger or something.
It looked like he kind of went in a little head first on that tackle,
Yeah.
and that's probably where we're having the trouble.
Yeah.
They're checking up around the neck area.
Well,
Don't want to take any chances.
Yeah, it looks like he probably got a little stinger there. They hurt real bad for a minute, but then, they're okay.
By remaining a competitive player in the markets they serve.
That's why they tell you, you got to see what you hit.
Proud sponsor of the Skyline Crosstown Showdown.
Edgewood once again moving the ball well. When we come back to action, they'll have a first down situation from the 40-yard line. They're up 13-0 here in the third quarter. Hey, a reminder for you, you can catch this game a few more times this week. Kings versus Edgewood, the cablecast replays. Friday night, 9 o'clock, Channel 4. On Saturday night, you could catch it, or Saturday morning rather, at 11 a.m. on Channel 4. On Tuesday, the 29th, it'll be at 9 p.m. on Channel 4. And on Friday, the 1st of September, 10 a.m., Channel 4. So catch the game again if you get a chance. Galbraith Field, the location, 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Edgewood, 1st and 10 from the Knights' 40-yard line. They faked the reverse that time. Ryan White around the near side, and another nice gain. Ryan White with the carry.
Just runs right over.
They're going to give him about a 5-yard gain on that. Well, they're going to move it up to about 7 yards, make it 2nd and 3. Brandon Osborne doing a fine job both offensively and defensively. Up under center now. Matt Moore in the backfield. Ryan White in the slot on the right side. Quick handoff to Moore. Moore with lots of yardage again, lots of room. Once again, it's like you mentioned, Dwayne, the offensive line moving them downfield.
Right.
The heavier team.
That's what you got to see. When you see your lines bubble moving that far downfield, you know you're going to be in for a good night. And this is a well-coached offensive line. I don't know who does the coaching over there. I don't know if Chanel does it or which of his assistants do that. But this is a very well-coached offensive line. If you watch them out there, they're all low. They stay low. That's where the leverage is.
Right now, it looks like the Knights are kind of getting worn out on defense. Been backpedaling most of the night. Coming up on a minute to play here in the third quarter. Another first down situation. Hand off the middle to Moore. Moore's got a big opening. Nice turnaround move there. Gets it down inside the 10-yard line.
Look at that. Everybody blocking downfield. Receivers, everybody hitting people. That's what you got to love to see. 2 men in front of him, 20 yards down the field.
Matt Moore with the big carry there. Shane Davis in on the tackle. Matt Moore gets him inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal to go from the 8-yard line now as we're inside a minute to play in the third quarter.
And nobody even puts a glove on him for 15 yards, so, you know.
Cougars up 13-0 over the Knights. Moore and White in the backfield. Handoff to White this time. He was their scoring machine earlier, but nothing doing. Maybe a half a yard. Actually got it back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
Ryan White, the ball carrier. Tackle made by 42, Shane Davis.
Shane Davis in on the stop. Also Anthony Dawes in on the stop. Excuse me.
John
Mr. Harvey in on the stop. That's going to do it for the third quarter.
Here's Edgewood knocking on the door again with a 13-point lead.
They are doing that. That's it for the third quarter. The Edgewood Cougars leading the Kings Knights by a score of 13-0. We'll take a quick break here. We'll be right back to Galbraith Field. For Dwayne Reed, I'm Rick McCullough. You're watching high school prep football on ICRC Sports.
Jason Clancy is broken up by number 25, Adam Cahill. It'll be 3rd down goal, Edgewood.
Picking up action back at Galbraith Field here on ICRC Sports. I'm Rick McCullough along with Dwayne Reed. It's the 3rd annual Crosstown Showdown. Kings Knights taking on the Edgewood Cougars. Edgewood up 13-0. We pick up action in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Pass attempt just missed by Edgewood in the end zone. Nice hit by Adam Cahill on the pass by Brandon Osborne. It was tipped up in the air. And
Osborne just kind of threw it behind him and floated on him.
Yeah.
He never got his feet set. That's the only place I fault his game is not getting his feet set on the passes. He's got a wide open guy in the middle. If he zips that ball in there, that's 6.
That's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 7. They're trying the exact same play with a roll to the right side. Got a man in the corner, but he overthrew him.
Too deep.
Evan
Wortley was open in the corner of the end zone and overthrew him right out of the end zone. It's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 7.
He's not setting his feet, and the ball's going to sail on him. You just can't control it. You got to set that back foot plant and fire it just like a dart.
13-0. Cougars over the Knights. Fourth quarter of play here. Kicking off the 2000 Ohio Prep football season. The smell of football in the air, the freshly mown grass.
Yes, I mowed the grass today, and I was just thinking football.
Looks like they're going to go for it here. Coach Chanel sends the play in with Brandon Osborne on 4th and goal. 13-0. They want to get another touchdown on the board, obviously, make it a 3-score game. Actually, a field goal, well, they could tie it up even at 16. Quick pass to the inside.
Ooh.
Threw it behind the receiver.
Osborne's got them happy feet. He's not he's not being pressured. I don't know why he's just not setting up there. He looks very, very uncomfortable in the passing scenario.
So they turn the ball over on downs. Going to bring up 1st and 10 now. Kings Knights have to get something going, but they're starting from their own 7-yard line. Brad Moore and company. Jimmy Robertson, Mike Vanskoy have been doing most of the work in the backfield.
Well, they certainly need to get this offense on track in a hurry. There you go. Now, there's the line I like to see. Look at that bubble. Look at that bubble. That's a 9-yard bubble. Look what they get. 9 yards out of play, maybe 10. That's what it's supposed to be like.
Nice handoff that time.
Jimmy
Robertson up the middle.
Number 4, Andy Urban.
Robertson with a 9-yard gain, going to bring up 2nd and 1. Robertson with 53 yards through 3 quarters, so he's been doing most of the work.
Right.
Vanskoy has 37 yards on 7 carries.
Well, it's time for this line to suck it up. They got to get up there. They got to start playing this game. They got to keep moving that bubble like that. If they keep doing that, they can get back in this game.
Lynch is split to the near side. Roberts to the far side. We got a pass from Moore, and he overthrows his Kosman on the far side. Nick Kosman, number 1, overthrew his receiver. I think you saw the same situation there as we had with Osborne. He didn't plant his feet.
Yeah.
Let it sail.
It sailed him a little bit. He got a glove on it, but
They tried to take advantage of a 2nd and 1 situation to try and break a big one. Now at 3rd and 1, first down is imperative.
yeah, that play wasn't going to go anywhere even if he did catch it, though. It was good coverage there.
Hand off to Robertson, and he
There
does
you
have the
go.
first
There
down.
you go.
Kind of feeling his way through the line, scurries for about 3 yards.
He's got some time. Let this line get out there. Just call in plays quick, get in and out of the huddle. Keep this defense on their heels and just keep letting these big boys pound it.
Jimmy Robertson, 3-yard gain, gives him 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with just under 11 minutes to play in the game. Galbraith Field, the location, ICRC Sports. Crosstown Showdown number 3. Some great matchups coming up this weekend to kick off the season. Hand off to Robertson again.
There you go. There you go. Come on, line. You got to get down there.
Robertson picks up about 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. You're going to give him about 4, actually. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Second and 6, Kings at the Kings 24.
Well, Kings will be happy taking 4 yards a pop. That can get them down there where they need to be.
Looks like they're just trying to get their game in gear, kind of stick to what they've been doing, stick to something that works.
One thing I'd also try, Andy, is spread this offensive line out a little bit. They're getting in a little tight, and when you get a 5-man front like that, oh, nice bit of running there, another first down.
Nice handoff there, nice run by Robertson. He broke a couple tackles, gets it up past the 30-yard line to the 31, going to give him a 1st and 10. Broke about 3 tackles on that play. Like you said, a nice job of running.
Yeah. Well, this line's getting down there, but I'd like to see this. See the line's getting pumped up. They're trying to get the crowd into it. They got to get pumped. They got to get this crowd into it. Just keep on doing what you're doing. That crowd will come along.
Jason Roberts brings in the play for Brad Moore. Brian Lynch will be split to the near side. Roberts to the far side. Once again, Robertson and Vanskoy in the backfield. Moore takes the snap. Optioning it. He decides to keep it.
Oh.
Big hit there from Chris Veffron, number 51. Holds his ground.
I don't understand that call. They've been working it well up the middle. I don't know why they try to go around outside. They get stuck. Backside linebacker makes that play.
So that's a loss of 3 yards now. Going to bring up 2nd and 13.
But he did
See
good
Veffron with the
pitch that.
penetration.
Yeah.
Coming from the backside, he caught that quarterback. Shouldn't happen. So 2nd and 13. Moore going to pass, looks like, rolling to his right side. Lets it go. Receiver falls down. No flag on the play.
I think they were calling that uncatchable.
Andy Urban with a little contact there, but the pass was way out front, and that's what the officials are saying. Uncatchable ball. 3rd and 13 the situation now. Kings Knights need to keep it going in this stage of the game. 9-10 to go. Down 13-0 here at Galbraith Field. Coming out is Chris Venefron for Edgewood. Looks a little shaken up. Going to check him out at the bench. Officials taking a timeout here. Look like a little chin strap problem. They've got the situation fixed. And Moore's all set.
A trips to our side here.
Try the reverse of their own. And nothing doing. Robertson on the
that
reverse.
didn't fool anybody.
And another loss.
Yeah.
4th and a mile now for the Kings Knights. Going to have to punt this one away. Can't take any chances.
Yeah, I don't understand that series of play calling. I'm trying to get outside on them, and when they've been beating them, pounding it up inside, letting the linemen do their job, and now all of a sudden, they're trying to get wide on them, and these linebackers and corners just are so quick.
4th down and 16 now.
Well, maybe special teams will do something, shake one loose here.
Mike Vanskoy punting. Gets one away. It's a low line drive. Bobby Gibson waving it off. They're going to down it at the 38-yard line.
And Edgewood, well coached. Nobody was around that ball. They're not going to give them a chance to get back in this game. I think I look for Edgewood, just keep on doing what they've been doing. Keep hitting Moore and White. Just back and forth, Moore and White. Give them a little taste of Moore, give them a little more White. There you go. And
yeah, Moore 126 yards through the first 3 quarters. His longest run 48. Having a great day. 9 carries only for 126 yards. That's a huge night.
Yeah, 14 yards a carry. This kid is doing a very good job.
1st and 10 now, 38-yard line.
Again, give half that credit to that offensive line.
At least,
they
yes.
move that bubble every play.
13-0 our score. Look for Edgewood to keep it on the ground here as they want to get a little time off the clock. Osborne up under center. Hands it off to Moore. Moore
look at that.
puts his head.
They create a nice little corridor there. Don't block the man, block the zone, and just create a little alleyway and then run off 10, 11 yards.
He brought over Adam Cahill there. 1st down in Knight territory, 48-yard line.
See that? You see a nice little corridor there? Looked like a little blue hallway going down there.
Always like to see the runner inflict a little punishment there. Put that head down.
Oh, yeah. These
Make
guys
the DB
run.
think about it. Osborne handing off to White. White comes around the outside. Puts his shoulder down. Picks up a nice gain.
You know, this White's not what I say super fast, but he's quick. He gets to full speed in 2 or 3 steps.
You're going to give him a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 now. Coming up on 7.5 to play here in the game. Osborne once again checking in with Coach Chanel. And an official timeout.
Official timeout on the field.
We've got
Varsity is proud to be the official apparel supplier of the Skyline Crosstown
Nope,
Showdown.
we're not going to take the official timeout. Everything's all right.
Stands located in the stadium to pick up your official Skyline Crosstown Showdown t-shirt for just $8.
Osborne, the star of the team, the star of the game for the most part, calling his name both sides of the ball. Hands it off to White, up the middle. Actually, excuse me.
Andy Knobloch, the ball carrier.
Andy Knobloch. Haven't seen much of him this evening. Only called his name once or twice. No relation to Chuck Knobloch.
Play of 7 yards.
Nice gain there. 7 yards. Going to bring up 1st and 10 now.
At the Kings 33.
Moving the ball strong again. 33-yard line. And the Knights take a timeout. They've got to regroup. They got to get this defense stiffened up.
They got to do something. They got to come. The defense has got to create something. They need a turnover in the worst way right now. There's 7 minutes left. They haven't had much of a passing attack. They're going to have to do something over there on defense. And obviously, Edgewood, I don't think is going to be putting the ball in the air unless they absolutely have to with the running game that they're doing and this offensive line getting downfield. Again, as I said, my game ball goes to the offensive line. Have to. When they're creating corridors like that, when your running backs aren't getting hit for the first 4 yards, it's going to be a long night on defense.
Oh, sure. Once again, Matt Moore getting the bulk of the yards. Ryan White getting the rewards for the scores as they get down close. Both touchdowns being scored by White for the Edgewood Cougars. Coming up after the game tonight, they will be awarding an MVP of the game, and we'll stick around to cover that. Right now, I'd have to say Moore, the leading candidate, just because of
would say so. Yeah, statistically, it's got to be. I'd have to say it would be him. The only other guy I like in there is Brandon, the quarterback. Brandon Osborne. He's just a real heady player. Like I said, I like his footwork and everything like that. And,
well, more from the defensive
very
side.
Poised. And from the defensive side, from the defensive side, he is a load.
Play resumes. Edgewood will have it first down 10. Ball.
7:05 to go here, fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Edgewood Cougars. 33-yard line of the Kings Knights. 13-0 our score. Edgewood trying to put this one out of reach with a late game score here. Matt Moore's in the backfield all by himself. Brandon Osborne up under center. Excuse me, Ryan White did step back. Ryan White, Osborne with the quick handoff up the middle.
Boy, his feet and hands are just so quick. You know, I mean, even fooling me up here. I thought that ball was going to number 25, Ryan White. He'd already handed the ball off.
Matt Bengal in on the stop there for the Kings Knights. 2nd and 8 now, a 2-yard gain. ICRC Sports, Rick McCullough alongside Dwayne Reed. Glad to be here this evening to kick off the 2000 prep season. Going to be some great games coming up this year.
We've seen some hits tonight. We've seen some good football here tonight.
It really sticks out that it's been so clean. The penalties are very few for the first game of the year.
These are two very well-coached teams. Again, when you're conference champions, that shows. Look, he's gone.
That inside is worked every single time they brought. Ryan White takes the initial handoff. Andy with the second handoff. Takes it up the middle for gain inside the 10-yard line. First and good to go.
And it was all Nick Herman could do just to grab on and hang on there. Or, well, Nick Herman, I'm sorry. That's Matt Bagley. He was going to be able to run him down there. It looked like he had that. Looked like he had that 2 steps on him. I thought he was looking for that extra gear to kick in and him get down there.
Nice job by Urban. That ball up as well. You really see that coaching again, I think.
Look at these stands from Edgewood. I mean, this school, hats off to this school from up north. I'll tell you, these guys brought a bunch of people with them. I see kids out there with their faces painted blue and silver streaks in their hair. These guys really come and follow this team.
1st and goal there. Ryan White handoff. Drops the pile back, but he comes up just short. As you can see there, about a nose of the football to the goal line. 2nd and goal now.
Inside the Kings 1-yard line.
5.5 to play. This could be the nail, so to speak, if they can punch it in here.
Yeah, I think if they come away with anything here, Rick, field goal, anything, I think that's the nail. I don't think this Kings team has 3 scores in them in 6 minutes.
Osborne looking to put it on. Hands up.
That's good. I like that.
Kind of splits your MVP, I think, because the guy who scores gets a lot of notice as well.
Yeah.
Setting up for the PAT. They're ahead 19-0 now. They're going to go for 2, it looks like. And that they are.
Yeah, that changes all the mathematics.
Hand off to White. And he is still fighting. He gets it. They're going to give him the 2 points.
Yeah, that was got him in.
Matt, initial hit, and he was able to pull off and get around the other.
Kings nothing.
Improving drive late in the game. Nice touchdown. White. 2-point conversion. Ryan White puts the Edgewood up 21 over the Knights here at the field.
Showdown kickoff.
Here he goes. Look at that right there, buddy. I mean, one
relatively up until right at the goal.
I don't think he gets in. I think that's the big.
That was the play before where they came up short. The one where he scores, he's untouched when he goes in. That's the one that got him right down to the goal line, the 1-foot line actually. Made it an easy call for Coach Chanel to get him in there from there. 5:05 to go. Now 21-0 our score. Everyone, not everyone, but most of the critics or most of the sports experts think that this Edgewood team has a real legitimate shot at a state championship this year, coming as close as they did last year. 17 returning starters this year. You've got to think that depending on the competition in their conference, they are looking good.
They look excellent. Very well coached, very well disciplined. I like this squad. I mean, these guys are, they're no nonsense. Steve Chanel's down there in the pregame. No monkey business whatsoever. They know what they got to do. They go out there and do it.
And there's our score.
Right.
Once again, untouched into the end zone, and hats off to the offensive line.
Yes. I can't say enough about that. These guys, the offensive line coach here should get the game ball because he's got these guys ready to play first game. They're making misdirectional blocks, making trap blocks and everything, and getting downfield. Very good job for this Edgewood squad.
Anthony to kick off, and he sends a wide drop.
He's dead.
Robertson with a nice job just catching the ball. They're going to call him one knee at the 18-yard line, make it the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Kings Knights got a lot cut out for him.
That knuckleball kick, it's everything you can do just to catch it.
That includes an AeroCare Plus
5:01 to go in the game. 21-0 Edgewood in front. The Knights need to open some stuff up, see what they can do.
Yeah, at this point, it's pride. They need some pride points.
Brad
Just
Moore.
to carry him on to the season.
Brad Moore up under center. Lynch and Roberts the wideouts. Robertson and Vanskoy in the backfield. Hand off to Vanskoy, and he is stuffed for a 2 to 3 yard loss. In on the stop, Andy Urban. Also Matt Moore in on the stop. The Knights seem to have had their sails deflated.
Yeah, I think the line's starting to deflate right now, but they need to come back. They need to come out with something positive here so they can build up for the next game. Especially with a sophomore quarterback, you need to give him some. I think I put the ball up in the air, give him some chances to do something.
2nd and 13 now. Moore under center, drops back to pass. Stuffed once again. Matt Moore on defense.
Well, I guess you hate to see that though. Drop back to pass, and get sacked.
The brothers Ryan and Matt Moore combining for the sack. The Knights playing next week for their 2nd game of the season, and they, like you said, they need to regroup, need to start fresh. I mean, they lost their first game last year and were still able to make the playoffs, and I think that coach has to remind them of that.
Right, and they're going to, and that Mason team's always well coached. They're going to have a fight on their hand next week. I guess that's first conference game then, wouldn't it be?
No, first conference game is until Norwood on the 15th of September.
Okay.
3.5 to go. 3:19 rather.
There you go.
Right there. Handoff up the middle. Vanskoy with the carry, breaks a couple tackles, does a little dance.
That's what this offense needs. They need to come down here, make a score, come out here with some points.
They're going to give him a 13 on that, bringing up 4th and 5. And the kicking team's coming up. Vanskoy doing the kicking honors. Going back to receive, of course, Bobby Gibson for the Cougars. I guess they don't want to give him a chance to add to that lead.
Yeah, well, again, it's the old chicken salad formula. You don't want to do that at this point, so let it.
Vanskoy with a good kick. Back to the 30-yard line.
Get out on him. Oh,
Gibson brings it around the corner. All the way back to 39.
He's leading the block there. He gives him an extra 10 yards there. These guys are just very well coached.
25-yard return there for Bobby Gibson as he's able to break the corner.
And give Evan Worley 12 of those yards. I'll tell you, he did a heck of a job there getting out in front and knocking some guys down.
Edgewood taking a timeout with 2:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 now for Edgewood, 39-yard line.
I look for him to pull the board now, and that's what he's doing. He's sending Osborne to...
Pick up the Post for the best sports coverage. Catch all the action in the Post. The Post, #1 in high school sports coverage.
Now this is class. He's bringing in some underclassmen, bringing in Steve Rogers as a running back, bringing in a backup quarterback, Kevin Markham, another underclassman, junior.
Well, good chance to get him a little game experience.
Exactly. I got in a coach to give some guys a chance, and more so than that, protect. You got a guy like Osborne out there. You don't need any freak accidents happening and changing your whole season after a big win like this.
Giving Markham a chance to run some plays. Markham Ingram, of course, a junior this year, probably looking to be their starter next year. 2:40 to go.
12 WKRC is proud to be
First and 10 from the 39-yard line.
One thing I noticed in pregame, this Steve Chanel is a hands-on coach. He's out there running the grass drills and all that. A lot of coaches let one of the under coaches do that. He's right there running his grass drills and seeing who's ready to play, looking in their eyes, picking out who's ready to play and who isn't ready to play.
Fumbles the ball. Play from center. And the Kings Knights recover.
Edgewood fumbles on the play.
Lane Murray falls on the ball.
That was a bad case of footwork. He
Yes,
stepped
it
with
was.
the wrong foot, stepped over his running back, and the ball shot right up in the air.
Well, 2.5 to go, 2:36 to be precise. Kings Knights get it right back from their own 32-yard line, or 37-yard line. Mora comes up pumping his, or clapping his hands.
They're short-handed on defense. They better get some guys out there.
And another timeout going to be called by Edgewood.
Right.
Coach Chanel, I think, was looking for some substitutions and didn't get them in time.
Stop by the captain.
Well, yeah, he was looking for more on offense, and so he could get his defense set with taking some of these other guys out.
Crosstown Showdown T-shirt.
And again, he's going to let Kevin come in on sides of the ball for Brandon Osborne.
ICRC Sports, we're from Garfield. Dwayne Reed, Rick McCullough calling the action in the game to the 3rd annual Crosstown Showdown. 4 games coming up, I believe, on Saturday at UC. Going to be some great matchups to kick off the season again this year.
I'll be down there for those. I can promise you that. That's always a good day of football. That's an all-day of football down there.
They're going to be busy. There's no doubt about it.
If you're a football junkie, that's where you need to be this Saturday, that's for sure.
As play resumes, Kings will have it first down 10, ball at their own 38-yard line.
Kings Knights resume play now, 1st and 10 with 2.5 to go. They try the handoff up the middle. Vanskoy with the carry. Can't put it away. They're going to give them about a yard on the carry. The matchups for Saturday, first game of the day will be the Anderson Redskins against Lakota East Thunderhawks. That's a noon game. 2:45, LaSalle Lancers taking on the Oak Hills Highlanders. The third game of the day at 5:30 is the Elder Panthers against the Coleraine Cardinals. And then the 8:15 spotlight game, Fairfield Indians against the St. Xavier Bombers. So a great day of football, as we said.
Oh, yeah, and all big name, big notch programs. Oak Hills has really turned around under Coach Steve Sheehan.
More to Vanskoy. Vanskoy breaks a couple tackles, able to get it past midfield, down close to the 40-yard line. Moore throwing off while moving to his left. It's a hard thing for a quarterback to do. Completes a nice one. Here you see Van get up the near side.
Gain on the play of 18 yards.
And the cameraman almost makes the tackle. So the Knights making a little noise here. Of course, Edgewood does have a few 10, but
Yeah.
it's still, you're still working your offense.
They need them pride points. Pride
That's right.
points.
Minute 49 to go. 1st and 10 now. More to pass again. He's got
Stove just overthrows him.
Brad Bowers pass intended for number 84. Matt Begley is incomplete.
Matt Begley going downfield, number 84.
Second down.
That would have been a nice boost for him to go out on.
I noticed during the pregame they were working on that fade the whole time. That little lay it out there, and he did overthrow quite a few times during the warm-ups as well. So something that I think they could work on and might be able to get away with later in their season.
That, and you got to bring the ball to the inside shoulder. You can't throw it out there so far.
Matt Begley, a tall target too, but he can't quite bring it in. Moore back to pass once again on 2nd and 10. Lets it go. Picked off.
Almost picked up. He's waiting back there for that one. That was
Sam Cole,
Yeah,
sophomore, getting some playing time in this game. Almost picks it off. More, these guys having to throw on the run at this stage of the game has got to be pretty tough. Intended receiver was Lynch, as you saw. Nice job from the sophomore DB, though.
well, throws in the double coverage here. I think the man opens over the top, but it's hard for the young quarterback to make that read.
Minute 39 in the game. 3rd and 10 Knights once again trying for some pride points. They're down 21-0 here at Galbraith Field. Moore is up under center. Not even pretending to run the ball. He's going to pass again. Runs into a little traffic. Now he's going to take off. Makes a nice cutback and he drops the ball. Looks like the Knights have recovered.
Brad Maurer scrambles, has the ball knocked loose.
Yes, they did. Knights get the ball back. It's going to be a fourth and 7, excuse me.
Yeah, Maurer recovers his own ball there. That's a nifty bit of work. He gets on it.
4th and 7, coming up on a minute to play. Edgewood showing us some impressive ball, both sides of the ball. Hats off to Osborne, Matt Moore, of course. Ryan White doing the bulk of the scoring. Brad Moore takes the snap. Nothing doing on the handoff. Passes it. It's complete. Ben
Yeah, there you
Dillon as well.
Brad Maurer's pass is complete to Ben Dillon.
Ben Dillon coming across the middle, makes the reception.
14, Chris Blaylock.
There you go. Timeout. Good clock management.
Gain on the play of 40.
That's a nice crisp pass there. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Very clean. Ben Dillon once again. Nice break of the tackle there. Picks up a couple extra yards.
He threw that one in there with some authority. Had some nice velocity,
Timeout Kings.
and philosophy.
Kings take a timeout with 45 seconds to go. They really like to get a few points on the board. Finish up this game on a high note.
Since 1973.
You got to come out with something here.
ICRC Sports, proud to be here for the kickoff to the Crosstown Showdown. We're at Galbraith Field. Edgewood Cougars right now 21-0 in front of the Kings Knights, who are trying to put a last-minute score on with 45 seconds to go in the game.
The Sports Animal is proud to be a promotional partner of the Skyline Crosstown Showdown. Be sure and tune to 1360 Homer for the Kroger High School football game of the week each Friday. Pre-game begins at 6 o'clock on 1360 Homer, the radio home of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Andy Olds takes the play, gives the play rather to Brad Moore.
Not now.
1st and 10 now. Looks like they're about the 20-yard line. 21-yard line to be precise.
As play resumes,
I don't think they'll
come
be
out throwing again.
They'll be throwing. Brian Lynch wide to the near side. Moore fading to his right. Passes it. Looks like it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line.
For Mike Vanskoy is incomplete.
Vanskoy, the intended receiver.
Looking up by number 60, John Begley.
43 seconds to go in the game now. A lot of substitutes on defense for Edgewood. Once again, Coach Steve Chanel allowing some of his backups to get some playing time.
Nothing like that PT.
Moore back to pass once again, this time rolling to his left.
He let that there.
Picked up that time by Steve Rogers. 5'9", 165 pound sophomore. Steve Rogers pumped up about that. Nice return too.
Yep.
So the Kings Knights stuffed on their last attempt at a score in tonight's game.
He had no velocity on that ball there at all, or philosophy. So that one was just not going to happen.
Edgewood will bring it out now. Just winding this clock down, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll just take a knee. They only got to do it once.
Well, they have to get a clean snap though. Kevin Markham back at quarterback. They kind of messed up the snap the first time. They've got pretty much a whole new lineup in there. All the numbers are new.
All the socks and jerseys and everything's clean. No, they're going to hand it off.
They did hand it off.
Well, I guess you want him to come away with a couple crisp handoffs.
The ball carrier for Edgewood.
And that's the ball game, I think, right there. They won't stop it.
20 seconds winding down.
Second down, 6.
They may try to get another playoff just to give him something, but I don't think they're going to have enough time to get it off.
21-0, Edgewood in front, winding down the clock.
Still making substitutions with 11 seconds. They're just going to run it down.
Yeah, that's the game.
Most valuable player in team.
And as time runs up here at Galbraith Field,
As time runs out in the football game, the final
Well, they're going to be picking up
tonight's game, Edgewood 21, Kings Knights 0. So Edgewood's chance at that state championship starts off on the right foot for
One
Division II
thing for
football.
MVP isn't going to get picked because it's that whole offensive line.
Yeah, that's the way I would go as well.
Crosstown Showdown presented by GTE Wireless wants to thank
21-0.
high schools for participating in tonight's
Pretty exciting game. The offense, once again, for Edgewood, definitely putting up some impressive numbers. Their ground game
Well, the
was
trench
as solid
play
as can be.
was the difference, and very well coached team. Andy can take and build off of this. They just need to come back, get that line to gel a little bit, and they'll be okay. They got some big kids out there, good running backs, good hard team. They have nothing to hang their head about in this game. They played a very good hard game this evening.
Like I said, I was really surprised the size differential didn't really help them out.
Well, if you don't move, it don't matter how big a bulldog you are. If you're only on a 3-foot leash, that's all the further you're going to get. You got to get downfield, and these guys, Edgewood proved that you don't have to have a big line. If everybody stays low and gets to their blocks and gets downfield, that's going to make all the difference. And hopefully Kings will learn from that. Andy can drill that in these guys' heads, let them come back out here and start playing the ball game that they know they can do.
A great game tonight. We'll have some stats for you in just a little bit to let you know just how each team fared. Also, we've got a post-game presentation rather of the MVP of tonight's game. We talked about it a little bit. Matt Moore, one of the candidates. Ryan White, the offensive line as well. We'll see which way they want to go with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield, where Tom Gamble from Don Schumacher and Associates is
announcer.
making a special awards presentation. First to the runner-up team from tonight's game, the Kings Knights. And now for tonight's champion in the inaugural Skyline Crosstown Showdown kickoff, the Edgewood Cougars.
Nifty piece of
And now
hardware.
for our
there.
Dental Care Plus most valuable players. First from Kings High School, number 72, Matt Bengal.
I agree with that. He played good on both sides of the ball. I think
And the MVP from tonight's game from Edgewood High School, number 42, Matt Moore.
Well, we kind of anticipated that call as well. That kid he put up some very
Again, thanks to
statistics.
Dental Care Plus for tonight's awards.
Well, there you have it. Matt Moore named tonight's MVP. Matt Bengal getting a nice mention for the Kings Knights.
Well, Matt Moore with 142 yards, 12.9 yard per carry. That's pretty impressive.
Well, let's quickly run through tonight's stats and the situation on tonight's games. The Kings Knights rushing 43 attempts for 124 yards. They were 5 of 11 in passing, 1 interception, and they were 5 of 11, on passing, and that was really kind of a key for them late in the game. As far as rushing, Edgewood, an impressive 41 attempts for 310 yards.
Unbelievable. And again, I think that goes back to the line, not so much the good running backs, but they can't do nothing if they can't get out there.
They spread it out too. Matt Moore, as you said, 142 yards. Ryan White, 96 yards and 3 scores.
And we just missed our prediction by 4 yards. Halftime prediction.
That's right.
Both of them being over 100 yards.
And Andy Urban had 48 yards on the ground for Edgewood. The top runners for Kings Knights, Jimmy Robertson, 25 carries for 72 yards. A respectable night. He did a lot of the work for him. And Mike Boy had 10 carries for 49 yards. Receiving, Adam Elkins had 3 catches for the Knights for 22 yards. Ben Dillon, 1 catch for 20. And Mike Vanskoy had 1 catch for 18 yards. This is impressive here. Mike Vanskoy, and it's something that you don't like to dwell on because it shows he had to punt a lot. But in punting, he had 4 punts with a 42-yard average and a long of 46.
Yes, so that's pretty.
It's very impressive for high school ball. Punting, only 1 punt for Brandon Osborne. He kicked that 40 yards. Recap of the scoring real quick. Ryan White, Edgewood scored in the second period, 9:04 to go with a 2-yard run. Minute 29 in the second quarter, Ryan White had a 5-yard run, and Edgewood in the fourth had 5:05 with a 1-yard run. So that's going to pretty much wraps things here. We're at Culbreth Field, and I appreciate doing the game with you, sir.
I'll be doing the rest of the night, so for that, I'm sure we're going to be in for a barn there as well. It's football. This is my time of year. I love this. I tell you, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Once again, our final from Galbraith Field. The Edgewood Cougars 21, the Kings Knights nothing. For Dwayne Reed, I'm Rick McCullough, and you've been watching